Hey guys, John here. This is day 11 of RPG-A-Day. It's a little late for me recording this than I normally do, but I want to make sure I get this out real quick. I've been thinking about it for a good day, for pretty much all day. The prompt today is compelling characters. This prompt isn't married to this topic, rather, isn't married to one specific game. There are Creating a compelling character doesn't really matter on the system or the rule set you're using. There are games that allow you to be more granular with characters to really get the details, stuff like Palladium or Pathfinder, GURPS, even basic role playing to a point. Like if you're playing like kind of more on the RuneQuest end of the spectrum, you can get really in the nitty gritty of combat and armor and weapons. That's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about the story. What makes a gripping character? A character who's like Conan or Fafhrd and Grey Mouser or Luke Skywalker, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. We're talking about emulating kind of those characters in our fiction, and that can be done. That can be achieved in any game, and that comes down to three things: player investment. What's your idea as the player? GM help. GM's taking those ideas that you've written down and springboarding off them. And that's also your group around you, helping you tell that story. Just, and that's those three things. You, the game master, the other players at the table. This hobby is a collaborative art form. We're collaborative storytelling. We are telling stories, or rather, we are playing make-believe with our friends. That's role-playing games in a nutshell. We like to pretend it's, it's not. We have these big rule books, look at all these rule books and these funny shaped dice. We're playing make-believe at the end of the day, and we need to work together. Excuse me. So in that, you need to, and that's okay for the player investment part, your part. Come up with a cool character you want to play, and it's okay if you're indulging in tropes or quote unquote cliches. It's okay, like it's okay. We're playing role playing games. We're gonna be cliched. We're probably not writing the next fantasy epic set of novels in our campaigns. We're emulating what's already come before. And it's having a knowledge of that genre and of those tropes that helps you, turn things around and where you can highlight your elements. A good example that I have of this is a couple years ago, my friend Fry ran a Star Wars D6 game for us on his server, and I got to play in it. And I was playing a pilot. I was playing the pilot. Mags O'Toole was her name. She by far is one of the best characters I've ever played and ever wrote of a backstory. And when I made her, I basically had the thing. Okay, I don't like that. I don't know. I mean, I love Star Wars. I love the movies. I love some of this stuff. But my knowledge of extended canon is, I know Grand Admiral Thrawn is a thing. Don't know much else, but I know he's a thing. So I was just thinking of what I knew from the movies, and what do I want to do? Well, Star Wars has, you're kind of always, this kind of like pilot. It's okay, so I want to play a pilot. I want to play the best damn pilot. Best damn pilot in the galaxy. And Mags O'Toole is the best damn pilot in the galaxy. And Kind of, bit of a shady past, and I knew, well, Star Wars is about family conflict, right? There's family drama. Okay, well, I wrote that she had a brother who left home to join the Imperial Flight Academy. And I told that to Fry as the GM, and man, did we have a ball with that. He ended up being, Mags' brother ended up basically being our Darth Vader for the campaign. To the point where he actually did, like, one of the other players did end up wounding him so bad they eventually did kind of become like a Darth Vader or Darth Revan or whatever. Like, one of those things. Alright. Ended up, I think, Moff Gideon from Mandalorian, I think. So yeah, that ended up happening. And that, that was part of the action of the characters. Players were helping out to help tell that story, and it was beautiful. Like, that kind of drama dynamic, yeah, she would act this way, but that's because of the loss of it, her family, and it was good. Eventually Mags had to deal with letting the past go. That was in the past. This is the future. This is the current. And fighting against that, and also eventually building her own family, her own kind of found family out of the group. The friends she has found on this adventure in this galaxy far, far away. So that's probably the best example I have. Playing a character that's very much this Han Solo, Buck Rogers kind of character, and throw in just a little bit more of a soap opera angle to it. And that, it worked. It worked in that campaign, and it's been amazing. That was amazing to play. Another character I'm playing right now, and again, my friend Prize Frager, she's been running a Spelljammer campaign for us, and I'm playing a Cavalier, who's from Kryn, who was a knight of Solamnia, or at least she was a squire of Solamnia, and she's dealing with kind of the knighthood and dealing with what type of knight she wants to be. And dealing kind of also with the fish out of water, going from kind of Kryn, this very isolated setting from the multiverse, to experiencing the multiverse. So that, and that's been fun to see that develop, and the character and the other players involved, and the GM have been adding to it, and throwing things out. No, it's not always perfect. There are things that we wish we could focus on more, but the nature of this being an ensemble game changes some things. But yeah, always start with the character. What's your character? What do you want to do with it? You can play Superman. Cool. Awesome. Superman's a cool character. But then part of playing Superman is dealing with all his other things. He's invulnerable. Yeah, he's super strong. He's got heat vision. He's got this hideout in the Arctic. But he also, he has friends. He has his parents. Yes, his adopted parents, but his parents. He didn't know his Kryptonian parents. He has his best friend Jimmy Olsen and Lana Lang and Lois Lane and Perry White. His cousin Supergirl and all their pets. Like, he's got things he cares about that are at risk. If he was found out, they are at risk. And that's where you play, the tip if you play a Superman type character is playing with the supporting cast. Having someone play Jimmy Olsen, right? Having, oh crap, Jimmy Olsen's in trouble, or Lois Lane's in trouble. Like, that's how you you affect those characters and they become complex and compelling is, yeah, they have all the power, but I'm going to hurt the things that they care about, or at least inconvenience them, because I'm going after the things that the people and the places and the things that they care about. That's cool. And you force the character to deal with that. No, I'm going after the things you care about. What are you going to do? I mean, it's just those things. And you can always do it in games. If a player has an apartment, have the bad guy trash their apartment. Like, no, you worked hard for that apartment. You need, go figure out what's going on. Who are those guys? So yeah, and then players, help and feed, and encourage that role play. Let the other players know at the table. Yeah, I'm going for this type of character. Let's help me if you have a deficiency in role playing, as many of us do. We struggle with it. Where can have the players help with that. But those are just my thoughts on what makes a good, compelling character. Let me know what you think. Tell me about some compelling characters that you've played over the years, or maybe a compelling NPC. Just talk to your GM, talk to your fellow players, your friends, and tell badass stories. Have a good one, guys.